Before we get into today's video on which units I think are the best in SD Gundam Battle Alliance for each role, because my opinions since then have changed drastically, just wanted to go over really quick how to use the table for Sheet Engine for the PC players. It's going to be really quick and really simple. It might seem intimidating at first, but it's really not too bad at all. Especially as long as you're saving often, which I recommend doing. I also recommend that you have autosave turned off. So, now that you can see my monitor, let me get my table up here real quick. We'll just drag that on over. Make sure it's coming back on the feed. Very good, it is. So this is what you want to do. So it automatically hooks up to your game, which is awesome when you open it. Now, first thing I want to go over is how to get your friendship with everyone to max. For whatever reason, it does not work at the same time if you're trying to also get the body XP up. So I do not recommend trying to do both at once. You're going to have to save your game after you do one mission with 1 or 2 units as your allies, get the friendship up with the multiplier, close the game, open it up, repeat the process with the table, and make the multiplier on that 50,000 like you would for also the friendship multiplier. Then where you'll find those is down here in this section. Thanks scripts by Toop or Tup. What you would do is you tick the friendship multiplier, you tick this, you double click that, enter in 50,000. Then you would do a quest, let it finish all the way, save after you're done, close the table, open up the game. Now let's say you want to get their level up to 100 right away, assuming you're that far in the game. You can do that too. You would do a mission, beat it, of course, put the multiplier at 50,000. For some reason, it put it at 0. Really not sure why it did that. Hold on. It's still doing that for some reason. Let me just hit OK, see if that fixes it. Okay, no, apparently you want to close your game if you messed with the friendship multiplier at all. So, okay, at least now we know that moving forward. That's why we're learning here. Let me just close this real quick. I'm going to hit no there. Get my game back open. You're going to be doing this very often, especially if you're just starting out or you're trying to make your own master save file. Alright, let me get the table back up. Yes, open up. Now it should work. Stupid thing. Of course it would do that while I'm recording. Anyway, friendship multiplier. Watch, now it'll work. 50,000. Now it's fine. So yeah, that should demonstrate why you don't want to do both at the same time. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to want to work correctly. But hey, now you know at least. Now, let's say that you also got all the bonuses when getting the game on Steam. You got all the DLC with it like I did. Those tickets that you got and everything else, you could set them to $9.99 if you want to. Which is what I've already done. Like so. And you can even do that with the uncapped materials if you want to. And when you leave that tick, I just wanted to demonstrate something. So let's say I'm selling 9.98 of these. Yes. I back out. Going to... okay, apparently it didn't save properly. Well, I'm glad I didn't save it. So, I forget if there's an infinite items thing. Let me take a look here. I might have to back out all the way. Let me see. Okay, yeah, they're back at 999. So as long as you leave that ticked, you go out all the way, you go back in. You can just keep doing that over and over and over again. Just make sure you don't sell all 999, otherwise you're screwed. But anyway, that's how I got to max capital so quickly when I was making the master save file for everyone. Now, the next big important thing I want to show with the editor, or the table, is how to edit parts. And that's very easy to do, but actually not. First, before we do that, let's open up this. So, you'll notice that in my game, I have 999 chaos keys. As you can observe in the lower middle right there. By default, you can only set that to 99, but good thing is you can still edit that. And how you go about doing that is, let's say I set that to 99. I take this down here. I go back into my game. I go to that mission again. It shows 99 keys. You can actually mess with that. To do so, you need to click Create Material List, come down here, open up 5, and it's material data 5 from the data list that drops down. This whole thing drops down here. This is your other items as well. Like the tickets, and I think even some of these are blueprints, which I don't recommend messing with. Because you can soft lock yourself doing that if you don't know what you're doing, or don't know to set it back to the proper amount, so that you can actually get and unlock the units. Which happened to me first time I was trying to get the master save out. It pissed me the hell off. I had to start all over. I was really far in the game to like Directory 5. But anyway, you could set the keys to 999 like so. Now for the important part. Editing the parts that you would get throughout the game. And I want to preface this by saying this is in the event that my master save file does not work for you. I want to at least walk you through it so you have something to fall back on. So there are 82 beneficial blue effects that the player can obtain in SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Whenever you get a new one, a new blue effect, I highly recommend favoriting the part with the new effect listed on it, and then you want to set that same effect on all 3 parts. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that really quick. So let's just go into the sell parts here. I'm going to unfavorite all these. Let's say that I just got this part, and it has auto guard, and like 50 melee and 50 range on it for the second and the third effects. As an example here. So let's say you want to keep that auto guard part and make sure you can edit any other parts you pick up. You can do that. So what you would do is you go to Create Parts Data List. Now that I have that favorited, when I hit Open Favorites, you'll hear that. You'll go down to the part where you got that from. You would double click it. And then I highly recommend putting the rank at 1 so you can easily find the parts whenever you're making and getting these. You can even set the role type on them. You can set the role type to 3 for Infighter, 2 for All-Rounder, and 1 for Sharpshooter. I don't know why it's at a 3. Let me fix that. There, now it should be right. Okay, apparently no. 3 is actually Sharpshooter, so that was correct. So 3 is Sharpshooter, 2 is All-Rounder, 1 is Infighter. Now we know. And that's why I'm doing this as I'm recording it, to make sure that I get the facts out correctly. You can even set the rarity rank from 1 through 10 if you want to. It's already at 1, so I'm going to leave that. Now, again, let's say that it has 2 different IDs here. To fix that, you copy that. You go in here, paste, and paste. And I recommend setting all the effects to 0 so that they're that much easier to keep track of. You're not distracted by numbers or dashes or whatever. So let's say you get a brand new part and you really want to have auto guard, attack, or melee rather, and ranged on it. You can do that. So just to use one of my parts here as an example, we'll say this part since it has melee and ranged on it. And we'll favorite auto guard. Let's say that I want to put auto guard on that part. So what I would do is I'll leave this open. I'll open favorites. I would grab the ID here. Put that into this effect. Let me actually copy this because I don't want to lose it. There we go, and I put in a 1. Hold on, I need to actually get a sticky note up here or something. Let's see, there we go. I'll just put that over there for right now. Now I'll grab the one for auto guard. I'll put that in here. Now when I go back to that part, it has auto guard, melee, and ranged. Now I'm going to go ahead and change that back. Put that in here. Put 0.7 for the use limit. And now it's fixed, just like that. Or attack, rather. That wasn't use limit. Whatever. But now I've got it unfavorited. So, very convenient thing about the create a part data list. It'll only open whatever parts you have favorited. It will not open the ones with the red lock icons next to them. Though they are in here, actually. You can get a good look at those parts by going through the first 245. Pretty sure on that anyway. Are there actually that many? It may actually be up here. I might be misremembering. It could very well be up here. But anyway. You know, let's actually find out real quick. Hold on. 3,500 melee and ranged. Okay. Let's see. 121 and 20. There we go. It's actually this part. So yes, the red locked parts start at 0. And they stop at a certain point. I don't remember how many parts it is. But if you want to ahead of time, you can get the blue effects from those, which is what I did when I was making the master save file. That way you don't have to wait for all 82 parts to come to you. Or 82 part effects, rather. And I highly recommend you keep a notepad list. And I have them listed alphabetically for you all. In a notepad thingy. So if you want to keep track of them and get rid of the ones that you don't have, or you can make your own notepad thing and just use this as a reference sheet. But that stuff out of the way. I know it seems complicated. It's really easy. I had to do a lot of tab keeping, if you will, when I was making the save file for everyone. I'm still hoping it actually works for other people and I didn't waste my time. But in the event that it doesn't, that's why I wanted to at least cover the table here. You will need Cheat Engine. It's free. You can easily get that. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And I'll also put a link to... Actually, no, because the table will be included anyway. Table will be included with the save file. Which, again, I will have posted it down below. I'll also be linking Korag because he is very well versed in SD Gundam Battle Alliance. A lot of knowledge that I have for this game, I got from him. And it's also thanks to him that I'm able to pull off combos that I'll be demonstrating here with HFX and Epion. But all that stuff out of the way, let's get into which units I think are the best for each role and why. So someone recently left me a comment saying that this wasn't really, or that wasn't really fair. That was back when I still thought Sananju was like the best in fighter, by the way. I was using tweak the hell out parts, and I wasn't taking other players on console into account. So that was another reason why I wanted to redo this. This is also to serve as an update for the save file, because I had to custom fit a few of the suits just because of how they were built. Those units being Chiridium, or Cherudium, Sun GM Gundam Astray, and GM Gather Road. You'll notice here that I've got reload on him, where as opposed to a regular all-rounder with beam on it, I have this setup on the unit. But anyway, let's get into training here. Gonna demonstrate why I think these units are the best for their specified roles. So I don't think Banshee Nord needs any introduction. What I recommend doing for your sharpshooter units and even your all-rounders is getting your use limits up. And even on the all-rounders, up just a little bit, if anything. And what I did for my all-rounders was, I tried making them, as best I could, a mix between the sharpshooters and my infighters, so that they would stay true to the name, being the all-rounder. I wanted them to be equipped and be suited for any situation. But demonstrating Banshee Norn here. So this is actually a combo that I picked up from watching Korok. Let's say that I just got a counter off and I slid behind him. He's already up in the air. We're going to pop him up. 2 swings. Sub 1, sub 2, heavy again. And spam your sub-weapons from there. I screwed that up. Let me try that again. Let me get him up real quick. Heavy. I screwed that up again, but oh well. Hang on, I'm just going to get this up again. Alright, pop up. Hit, heavy, sub 1, sub 2, heavy, sub 1, sub 2, sub 1, sub 2, repeat. Why do I keep screwing that up? Probably because I'm recording. Hang on, I need to concentrate. Hit, heavy. Why am I screwing that up? Again. I'm just going to stop talking and so I can actually pull off the chain. Give me a sec. God damn it, dude. Really? This is why I'm not Korag. There we go. Wait for him to get it up. Let's try this one more time. Hit, heavy. Dude, why is that messing up? There we go. If you can keep that going and not screw up a bunch like me, you can really rack up the damage, especially with these parts. And that's another thing I want to get into. The parts that I have on my units Like, in this case, I still have the broken as hell parts that I've demonstrated previously in the past. But I'm using gen parts. Now, what I mean by that is the numbers you're seeing here are the highest possible outcomes for their respective part effects. So 550 is the highest you can get on melee or ranged. Main range / sub-weapon attack and use limit go as high as 70%. Meanwhile, for aerial damage, the highest that you can get that is at 25%, and back damage goes as high as 30%, as some examples. I don't remember the peak values offhand for every part effect in this game. Nor can I find a data sheet on that. So if anyone would be willing to share any of that info down below, that'd be really helpful. If anything, just for other players to know what they should be on a lookout for when farming their parts in this game. But Banshee Norn aside, let's demonstrate why I personally think HFX is the best unit for all-rounders. Let me just switch this. If I could find the guy, there he is. This is my main team, if you couldn't tell. Alright, now we'll head on in. Alright, so I'm going to show you two variations of the same combo, pretty much. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boost cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boost cancel. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's say I had enough boost for that, and I had meter for that to continue. After which, I would do this. Pop up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boost cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boost cancel. 1, 2, 3. Heavy. Sub 2. Sub 1. Sub 2. Sub 1. And you can make that slightly better after you use roll action with him. And I learned that again thanks to Korag. So from the pop-up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boost cancel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boost cancel, 1, 2, 3. Heavy, immediately press and hold your basic attack button, sub 2, sub 1, sub 2, sub 1. And that's how you really rack up the damage with your HFX. Notice it's not as high as the damage that I was pulling off with Banshee. That's normal. Sharpshooters are ridiculously overpowered in this game. They have the highest damage potential. And plus, with them having an instant reload roll action, that it lets them put out even more damage, of course. Alright, now I'm going to demonstrate Epion real quick. So let's switch this guy out. And I myself will go ahead and switch to Epion. Now, if you want to, something you can do to get more boost is just go and do a quest with 2 all-rounders by your side, because you'll have a lot more combo fun in doing that. In fact, for a lot of Korag's videos, you'll see him doing that in his God Stats vids, which I highly recommend checking out. He's got other helpful vids, such as where you should be farming your parts, how to get rich quick, how to build certain units, etc., etc. You'll even see he uses quite different builds compared to what I use, which there's nothing wrong with that. Personally, for me, attack type change to physical and auto guard are must-haves on most units. Auto guard really mitigates a lot of damage, and the only real enemy in this game that's vulnerable to beam is the big black thing from Iron-Blooded Orphans. Not the hash malt, the other one that you would find in the first DLC, where you can also run into HFX there. You know, this mission. Vagon Gear Sid, that was his name. This is the only thing in the game that's really, really weak to beam. But anyway, going on the training again. At Beyond, I'm going to demonstrate why I think he is the best unit. I'll also go over my parts for HFX that I was using and Epion, just in case anyone is curious about that. So, pop up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similar thing to Age, by the way. 3, 4, 5. Third chain. Sub 1. And you can keep that going with them infinitely, provided you have more boost. Or you have meter from your balance meter. You can even do this on the ground up to the third chain and the third hit before doing a pop-up if they're broken. 4, 5. 1, 2. About to run out of boost there. 4, 5. And then that resets and you can keep going. 1, 2, 3, sub 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Your opponent should definitely be dead by that point, because in EX5, most of the units have roughly 50 to 60,000 health at most. So you'll be killing shit very quickly with Epion, assuming you have these parts that I'm about to go over. And it is possible to get these parts. Now, whether or not with these specific effect combinations, I have no idea. But the values that you're seeing here are the best possible for back damage, aerial damage, melee, ranged, etc. And HP. HP goes as high as 1500. But anyway, that's the load that I got on Epion. Let's look at Age of X really quick. And one last look at Banshee Norn. And because of how the Cherudium, the GM Gatherode, and Sun G and Gundam Astray are built, I had to give them very specific and unique parts to better benefit them without making them too overpowered compared to the rest. I wanted to keep it fair. So here, for example, I got damage cut rate, since he can't really utilize anything ranged-wise. And plus, he really needs it anyway. Because take 10 away from all these cut rates that you're seeing here, he's a lot more frail than you might think. Cherudium has the same problem. So I went ahead and gave him a bit of a buff to his defense as well. And surprisingly, he's a sharpshooter and he has better cut rates. And then Gatherode is just Gatherode. But I gave him reload, since he doesn't really have any access to anything melee in his kit. By the way, you're going to see that I do have melee even in my sharpshooters, just in case I get screwed over at all on trying to reload and get my ammo back. Or if I fire a bunch, I miss a bunch, I'll still have something to attack with. But anyway, I hope this was informative for some of you. Good luck to everyone farming your parts and whatnot. If you're able to, I highly recommend doing that here, especially if you have the DLC. You will get the best possible parts from here. Get it anywhere from 3 to 4 rows on average of nothing but 9s and 10s, with every single part effect you could want and more. But that's all for me for today. Once again, I hope this video was informative. Save file has been updated. Hopefully it works for some of you. And yeah, that's all I got for you. See you later. Peace out.